I've been involved in photography for some 30 years. And it started off, my wife bought a basic Minolta XG1 camera. And as I was just trying to find out about the concepts of the camera, I just started looking at the outside world. And I said, Eureka, I can use this as a tool to capture art. I used to take classes at OCC, and I learned a lot in the lab. Part of the things that I do was in front of the camera, and 50% was what I did in the lab. I was able to do some things in the lab that actually enhanced my final prints. But right now, I don't do any lab work at all. I do go to outside processor. Everything in this display is actually film. And I put so much in film over the years, and I really educated myself regarding film, all the concepts of film, and I guess you could say I got caught in a time warp. And I have not evolved to the digital field, which I aspire to do. And to be able to do the things that I do with digital, I would have to have the proper digital camera, not the entry level. So I'm attempting to get into the digital field, but I really love film. I guess you could say that I'm old school. If you really have a love for photography, try to learn the basics, shutter speeds, apertures, depth of field, and learn that first. A lot of times, many photographers will go out, try to buy the most expensive camera, and they don't know the basics. I find if you learn the basics and how to be able to utilize all the camera settings, you can be, your creatorship just grows by leaps and bounds. And another thing, for a photographer, find out what you really like. Myself, I've done it all. I've done weddings, I've done high school seniors, I've done portraits, I had a studio. But this is my love. This is my love because when I'm doing this, I feel that my creative juices are flowing, and I'm not regimented by people telling me to get this shot or this shot. I'm taking my time. So to make a long story short, I think that any aspiring photographer has to find out what their niche is and what they really love, and they need to really develop that and enhance it, even though they have to find out what makes money, because you can get locked into something that doesn't make money. So you want to be able to use your skills to make money. I would have to say that at this point I haven't. So I'm not a starving artist, but I do this mostly now and then to generate a little something, but I also do it because I love it. My uncle was a photographer, and when I was a little boy, he had a dark room in our basement, and he loved photography, and unbeknownst to me, he, in a subtle manner, had impact on me, and I never thought that I would love photography, but he really ultimately had impact on me. And then the late Robbie Roberson, and I could go on and on. Dorothea Lane, she really had impact on me with the photojournalism she did. She was dismayed at the Depression era where the migrant workers were caught in a dust storm, and she came out of her office under FDR, and they were trying to have a relief. So many photographers joined in to show the plight of those persons that were impacted by the dust storm during the Depression. Basically, I've been involved in all the segments of photography. I used to do portraits, weddings, but my love has been, you could say, photojournalism, which I tried to do a little bit of, documentary photography, scenics, and you could go on and on. So I'm not locked into a style, but I really love trying to create art via the camera. Like still photography, the print right behind me, I call that the illusion, and that was something, a shot I manufactured, and if you look at the print, if you look deep into it and you look at the interplay with the glasses, it looks like an illusion. But I created this by utilizing lights, and also if you see how that the light refracted off of the first glass, and it makes it look like the other glass is not connected. But I manufactured that shot, and I tried to create an illusion. There are shots where I'm just driving about, and a lot of time art is out there, it's just the idea of capturing it. Just like I have one print here, and it's called Images in the Fog. And it was a very foggy day, so I happened to have my camera. And amidst all the fog, I saw a playground bench that was colored. So with the shutter speeds and apertures and so forth, I was able to go out and make that jump out of the midst of the fog. So that's manufactured. But then obviously, when we think about the creation, there's so much art in the creation. I have one print, it's called The Awakening. And it was just the idea when I saw the interplay between the sky, the water, and the sand, I knew that if I got down low, I could connect all three and make it as if they had met each other. So I have different methods of creating art. A lot of things is just capturing what's already there and putting a spin on it by utilizing different settings on the camera. But then with still photography, obviously I'm creating the whole thing. And I do that basically, I used to do that in the studio. I no longer have a studio. So it depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. Like I mentioned Dorothea Lange, and she was a photojournalist. That was one of the areas I kind of delved in a little bit. But I have a print here entitled They Shall Hunger No More. I did a documentary on poverty in the old John R. area back in the 90s. And if you look at that print, it's actually a collage of different scenes that highlight the poverty-stricken individuals in that area. And if you notice in that, you'll see that even though many are homeless, they're resourceful. They know how to survive. One gentleman there is sitting over a manhole, and it's in the middle of the winter. The manhole is emitting warm vapors, and he had the know-how to get a chair to sit over the manhole where he could get the heat, and he even went to sleep there in the middle of the day, and I captured that shot. And I put a lot into that print, and if you look at that print, you can really see the plight of things that we just perhaps take for granted every day. How do homeless people survive overnight? What are they doing while we're going about our daily affairs? And I kind of like that, even though it's not, if you look at it, perhaps it doesn't seem to be a happy shot, but I've put a lot into that. My art has changed because I haven't had the time to devote to it. And previously, like I said, I had a studio. And even though I had the studio and I did weddings and portraits and things of that, in high school seniors, my love was getting out trying to create photographic art. I lost the studio, and I had a few hardships, and I haven't been able to reinvest in myself. So consequently, I have not really dedicated myself to putting a lot of effort, but every now and then the juices get to flowing, like I just did this one. Some of these are new prints and some are old. And because of the fact that I haven't evolved into the digital era, I'm still locked in the film, but I find there's so much I can do with film. And you can't get a lot of places that really adequately process film anymore. But I think I still aspire to continue to enjoy what I do, and that's photographic art. I've had my art displayed in different venues. I mean, my photographic art. I want to really highlight that this is photography, but they're connected. But anyway, I've had my photography displayed in various venues. I had it at the Southfield Center of Arts, Southfield Library, Borders Bookstore, of course, here a couple times in the City Hall. And in those sittings, I always had a sign-in book. And persons have really, one person mentioned to me that those are mad skills that you have. And I thought that was interesting. And another person mentioned to me that your work is just amazing, you know. Even though I'm not a person that's on the mainstream that people know about me, but just for people to say things like that, that has really evoked in me the desire to even do more. I would like to say that eventually I would like to be able to do a show at the DIA, and there are areas in Bloomfield where they have photographic art, and obviously photographers get the worth of their work if they can get their work in those venues. So I would like to at least be able to have in my work the commensurate resources coming back from what I'm putting out. Sometime I lose. So I would like to be able to eventually to do the DIA and other venues that would really showcase my art to a greater degree. When you think about photographic art, just like if you can master your skills, like a painter uses the brush to make beautiful art, a musician uses a musical instrument, and as a photographer, you want to be able to use your camera as well as a skillful musician uses their instrument to create music. And if you have that mindset, you're going to be all right.